BJ, how did the whole of Champions Cup make this team better prepare you for the tournaments, the games you have left?
I mean, obviously the level of competition makes you raise your level. And I think, just sort of the intensity of the matches, the experiences of having to travel on the road, the pressure of, kind of the needing the results. I think all of those shared experiences of the team and sort of for the whole organization kind of just build a resiliency. And I think they also helped us really sort of raise our standards of how we need to play and how we need to train every single day. And sort of, I would say, has set a new floor for what's expected each and every day.
What have the last couple days been like? What response have you seen from the team as you get back ready for DC?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, you see it obviously to get some rest and recovery after some long travel and games. But I think what you really see is like you put a lot of effort and you put a lot of, I would say, work into that, and then when it's over, it's over. So there's no worrying about what's coming next. It's over and over. So you kind of almost see a refreshness in the group that we know that we have a full focus on MLS play and MLS play only. And I think right when the guys got back into the facility, it was D.C United all the time.
Okay. BJ, do you think having this game be only a few days after the loss actually helps because it's kind of a way for players to prove themselves, or would you wish you had a little bit more time in between?
No, I mean, I think we've got a great sense of hunger coming out of the Tigres game, and I think we just want to continue to fuel that kind of fire in our eyes, fire in our belly, that we want to continue. We're excited about what we've been able to accomplish, and we're excited about what's to come, and we know the level that we can play at, and we want to get back out there as quick as we can.
And we've heard different coaches and different teams approach this differently, but where do you put the emphasis in terms of Supporters Shield versus playoffs later on? How important is it for you and your group to win or at least compete for the Supporters Shield?
All we're trying to do is beat DC United tomorrow. That's what we're thinking about, and that's all that we talk about.
BJ, what have you seen about DC United?
Yeah, really, it's been really impressive. They'll kind of watch their growth through the season. I think a team that's really found their identity, a team that's really found like a group of players that are committed to playing a certain way. They have the ability to kind of get in your half really quickly with a lot of numbers. With a lot of like really different profiles, guys that can score in the penalty box, guys that can move the ball left to right. So I think a really the coach has done a really good job of giving it like a real sense of clarity and a team that we have a tremendous amount of respect for coming in here.
BJ, I wanted to ask, do you have any update on Patrick Yazbek and what his timetable looks like and what his injury is?
Yeah, so Patrick suffered a quad injury. In terms of a specific timetable I don't have, I can tell you that he'll be at least out up to the World. He won't be back before the World Cup break.
And I guess with him out just for this upcoming stretch, what does I guess how do you move forward and how do you look to replace what he can bring and what kind of opportunity does it give for other players in the midfield?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, he's obviously a key piece to what we do, both with the ball and without the ball. But it's going to be an opportunity for guys to step up, and I think you saw that already. Like I thought, Matt and Brian had a nice partnership there in the Tigres game, and again, just going to continue to build those relationships for those two guys first and foremost. Charles Meal will kind of move up and kind of have an opportunity potentially, so he's going to have to be ready for that opportunity. And I think for us, we always talk about being next man up. We have our clear identity of how we want to play. We want to approach things the same way, and so that's kind of I would say how we want to go about things.
BJ, the result against Tigres, just losing by 1 goal in each game, does it confirm for you as a coach the job you've been doing with the guys, or does it hurt the most because it was so close?
Both. I mean, yeah. I mean, we compete to win every single game, and so when you are in the moment, all you're thinking about is winning. And when you don't win the game and you don't advance, it hurts because everybody puts so much into it. But at the same time, as time goes on and that sort of hurt and anger starts to go away, you do have the ability to step back and look at things a little bit from a big picture. And it's important to understand, when we're writing this chapter 7, like, history was made by this team, right? History was made by this team. And for a club that's only 7 years old to be able to reach a CONCACAF semifinal, to be that close, validates a lot of what we're doing as an organization and a lot of what we're doing as a club. But we're not looking for participation trophies. Like, that's, we're not patting ourselves on the back and saying that's great. Like, it's only rising. The expectations are only going to get higher. We only want the expectations higher. We only want to work at a higher standard, and we want to continue to feel that pressure. We understand that it's a privilege. So I hope that answers the question, and kind of like both, that we want to win, but when we zoom out a little bit, it does validate the work that's being done. But we're not satisfied.
Now, obviously, part of the equation has to do with Sam not being available, not because there's nobody guys in there, but he's just being hot. That's a fact of the matter. And now, and my question goes into this: it's really rare for this team, especially since you took over, that Nashville doesn't score for 3 games. And how much that fact has to do with Sam's absentee, or the guys just simply not being able to score?
Yeah, I mean, I think both, right? I mean, again, I say it, but Sam obviously is a really good goal scorer. He's proven that over his time here in the MLS and in Nashville. But at the same time, we've also scored in games that Sam's not participating. So we have the confidence in the group that, we can find goals. I thought even in the Tigres game there was some chances close that we could almost get. And so for us, there's no change in what we're going to do. It's just about making sure that we can get into those areas a little bit better with a little bit more quality and finish. But I think for us, the group is confident that we're still getting into the attacking areas, and we know, and kind of in this game, you go through these dry spouts, but then once one goes in, the floodgates can open again.
BJ, switching gears to the league and defending the top spot in the East, the team is on the 3-game scoreless streak. Tomorrow you host on D.C United side that's also come off a scoreless draw and will likely set up a solid block. What tactical adjustments are vital to regain clinical finishing in the final third and unlock game that shape up to very tight?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. D.C. United's a really good team, both with and without the ball. Defensively, they're really difficult to break down. They get a lot of numbers behind the ball quickly. And so for us, it's just making sure that we can control the tempo of the game. We want to get the ball into certain areas, and it's sort of that final pass, whichever space kind of opens up in the penalty box, or can we make sure that we have players there, and can we make sure the ball is delivered in the right spot?
And after the heavy physical and emotional toll to the international series, the ability to respond immediately will dictate the season's rating. Sitting on the top of the table, what has been the core message in the locker room to clear the group's mind about it in the elimination hangover and impose your rating immediately in GEODIS Park?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's just about getting right back to work. We have a clear way that we try to prepare for each and every opponent. This group does a great job of compartmentalizing, okay, D.C. United is the next opponent in front of us, and we know exactly how we want to play. We know what we need to do, and we just need to go out and execute. And then you add the extra piece in, is that we love playing at home. We love playing in front of the Nashville fans. We know that they give us that extra boost of energy and intensity, and we're going to use it. We're going to use it, and we expect we hope that they turn out in full numbers and in full voice.
We'll go to Ben on Zoom.
Yeah, BJ, you talked a little bit about this already, but obviously you guys put a lot into the CONCACAF Champions Cup, both physically, emotionally, mentally. How have you found it to maybe allow players space to kind of process and have emotions and frustration about the result while also kind of flipping the page quickly? I guess what's the balance there?
Yeah, I mean, I think right after the game, all the way through sort of, yesterday, we talk about that, right? We let that go, because you have to take learning lessons. If you want to truly grow and get better and become more resilient, one, you have to go through the experiences, but two, then you have to reflect on those experiences. So we were able to take that time, and then we have to refine some things. I think, we were challenged in ways. So all of that kind of gets packaged into into our discussions and into the way we sort of flush that result out of us. And then we know coming out on the backside, coming into today, we'll be better for it. And that's what we expect when we play on Saturday night. We'll be a slightly better team than we were, Tuesday night.
And then you obviously already touched on Patrick. I'm curious with Sam and Eddi, do you have any updates on them? Are you expecting either of them back before the World Cup break?
Eddi would probably be a long shot to get back before the World Cup break. Sam is, I would say, kind of in a week-to-week pattern. A lot of what he's doing with his symptom base, so we're optimistic, I would say, with Sam.